debut album, Baby One More Time, was released in January 1999.
She's only 17 when Baby One More Time comes out, and it really is one of the most important records of all time, and it turns her into a global superstar and is a little more button-pushing than anything we'd seen from someone of that age.
As fast as things were moving for Britney, she insisted on keeping family close, especially her little sister, Jamie Lynn.
My little sister is a spitfire. She is just Miss Personality.
With Britney's encouragement, Jamie Lynn felt comfortable striking out as a young actress. She landed a few small roles in different projects before being cast as the lead in a new series for Nickelodeon, Zoey 101. The show premiered on January 9th, 2005, when Jamie Lynn was 13.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up, Zoe?
As Zoey 101 became wildly popular with teen audiences, every new album released by Britney was topping the charts. The two sisters were a major force in entertainment in the early 2000s. But as their stars were rising, they spent less and less time together, ultimately drifting apart as the demands of fame brought more and more pressure on each sister. Tabloids continued to hound Britney, publishing photos of her partying at nightclubs in Hollywood and Las Vegas.
Back up! Back up!
For Jamie, she's entering the final season of Zoey 101, and that creates a whole question mark over her future, what's going to happen after this show goes off the air for her and her young career. And then shortly after it finishes filming, it's announced in December of 2007 that Jamie Lynn Spears is pregnant.
I bought a house in Mississippi, and I said, you know what, I'm going to raise my baby.
There was a ton of media scrutiny. Also, it came at such a chaotic time in their lives with everything going on with Britney.
Britney was hospitalized at UCLA Medical Center for a 72-hour psychiatric hold. Britney's father petitioned California Superior Court in Los Angeles for a temporary conservatorship. The conservatorship meant that Britney was no longer in control of her own personal and financial decisions.
A conservatorship is a legal process where the courts appoint a responsible party to assist a vulnerable individual.
It was initially a temporary arrangement, but by the end of 2008, a judge had made it permanent.
That conservatorship has now been in place for more than 12 years. The minute she got on stage, the shy girl with the big voice transformed completely.
There was an audition for a band, Girls' Tyme, in her city, and she auditioned and got into this band at 8 years old.
As big sister Beyoncé entered her teens, her group Girls' Tyme continued to grow its fan base. In 1996, they changed their name to Destiny's Child. Solange's debut, Solo Star, was released in 2003. Some critics wrote the album off, dismissing it as nothing more than a byproduct of Beyoncé's success. But 16-year-old Solange not only wrote and produced the first single, Feelin' You, she also came up with the concept for the video. Unfortunately, the record failed to perform, and only 6 months after Solange dropped her debut, Beyoncé released her first solo effort after 4 albums with Destiny's Child. Beyoncé's record may have dropped after Solange's release, but it debuted at #1 and included the powerhouse single, Crazy in Love. As Beyoncé was collecting awards, fan adoration, and a superstar boyfriend, news broke that her teenage sister Solange was pregnant.
There was a lot of concern about how Solange's pregnancy and becoming a teenage mother would impact the image of Beyoncé.
18-year-old Solange was expecting a baby with her 19-year-old high school sweetheart, Daniel Smith.
Solange, pushes back on people trying to make a bigger deal out of her personal story than it should be, right? Her life doesn't necessarily have to reflect on her sister's. Beyoncé says, very clearly that, I got to witness my sister become a mother. And so you see that Beyoncé is learning from Solange.
Solange returned to making music, continuing to shape a sound different from her sister. In 2016, each sister dropped a new album, Solange putting out A Seat at the Table, and Beyoncé releasing her groundbreaking work, Lemonade. Both efforts hit #1 on the pop charts, and both won Grammys. Lemonade for Best Urban Contemporary Album, and Solange's song Cranes in the Sky for Best R&B Performance.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really long overdue.
Miley Cyrus has redefined what it means to be a pop star in the modern era. For her sister, Noah, it hasn't been an easy path to follow.
Miley is definitely an extrovert. She is out there, ready to stick her tongue out and get right in your face. Noah has always seemed a little more pulled back from that kind of public persona.
At 13, Miley beat out hundreds of other girls for the lead character in a new Disney series called Hannah Montana. The show premiered in March 2006.
In the show, Miley Cyrus plays a girl named Miley who is also a pop star secretly. And so she has to hide her pop star persona from her friends at school. And it did turn Miley Cyrus into a superstar. I mean, kids were obsessed with this show.
In some ways, you're just like all your friends, but on stage, you're a star.
In 2008, 8-year-old Noah voiced one of the characters in the animated film Ponyo. Interviewed about the movie alongside Frankie Jonas, Noah talked about her #1 inspiration.
I look up to my sister Miley because she's been acting since she was like 11 or 12.
Having a big sister who was also a huge star was definitely a mixed blessing.
From a very young age, people were already saying Miley was the one who had all the talent in the family. Miley was the one who was beautiful.
When Miley was 20, her performance at the 2013 VMA Awards show triggered a torrent of negative feedback against both sisters, even though Noah had nothing to do with the event.
Miley's dressed very, very skimpy. She's cut her hair super short, and she starts twerking on Robin Thicke, who has this huge song, also very sexual.
That definitely turned a lot of heads. You know, it caused a little bit of an uproar in the media because she was seen as such a wholesome figure.
But the damaging attacks didn't dampen Noah's desire to develop her own musical talent. In 2017, 17-year-old Noah released her first album, cleverly titled NC-17. But critics noted that the tone of the songs was a lot darker than Miley's music. Older sister Miley was thrilled to introduce Noah that year at the iHeartRadio Music Awards.
She's who I want to be when I grow up, and that's saying a lot because she's a lot younger than me. So get ready, everybody, because 2017 is about to be Noah's year tonight.
She had a song that talks about literally growing up in Miley's shadow, and that Miley was sunshine radiating out onto the world, and she was the other sister in the darkness, in the shadow.
That September, Noah shared an Instagram post talking about how she had struggled with depression and self-esteem issues.
Watching Noah go through her mental health issues, present day, in the moment, writing songs about it, it's actually watching someone heal themselves.
Together, Miley and Noah are walking hand in hand on a public journey of healing and acceptance.
They seem to have a sisterly bond where they support each other, and Miley is the older sister that Noah has always looked up to, and I think Miley is protective over Noah, and she just wants the best for her.